Progress is a function of attitude. Progress is a function of attitude. I was thinking about that phrase this morning before I get on here and start doing my daily routine. And what's a daily routine? Well, for me, there's no specific daily routine. I break it every morning. I take a different route. I might go out the back door, the side door, the front door, and just to change it up a little bit. You know, it was Arnold Schwarzenegger, one of the main, when he was doing bodybuilding many years ago, that he said that in order for his body to get adapted to a new size, in other words, he wanted to get bigger. He wanted to get bigger. It was all up there, right? In the head, yes? In the brain. He wanted to get bigger. Why? Because he wanted to win he wanted to be the top. And he got there. But he said, you gotta freak out your body. You gotta take your body and tell your body and do something that it's never done before. So you gotta do that with yourself as well. You gotta do that with I do that with the things that I do every day. You know how we become automatic every day. It happens. We become automatic. And it's like sometimes you don't even remember that you did what you did when you did it, right? You don't remember. Why? Well, it's because you do the same thing every day. It becomes a habit. And a habit can be formed very easily by just repetition. All right? And then eventually you're thinking, why am I doing this? And how can I change it? And then eventually you don't want to change it because you're not feeling like it, right? Because it's comfortable. So do like Arnold Schwarzenegger and make a choice to go a different route today. Take a different route, the uncomfortable route. You might discover something. You may discover a new friend. You may discover a new way of getting to work. You might discover a new method of doing something that you've been doing for a long time in a different way. You may discover many different things, and you'll be able to kind of figure out that, hey, you know what? Life is not just about just being in a routine every day. Okay, I only come on here when I have an inspiration, and I have one or two every day or every other day or so, right? And I'm encouraged every day, everybody, encouraged. Why? Because you think challenges don't occur to everybody? Yes, we all have challenges. But what are you going to do with your challenge? How are you going to take it? How are you going to look at your outlook? Today I was reading John Maxwell's book where he said, you know what? Everything falls and rises on leadership. Okay, I get that. And a leader can be made. Yes, I get that. And then he said something very interesting. If you're focused constantly on yesterday because of what happened yesterday, you're never going to be able to get past today. If you're focused on tomorrow, you're not going to focus on the important things, which have to be done today. So he has his daily 12 that he does. In his book, Today Matters, there's a daily 12 that he does, and he encourages everybody to do something for 60 days. Well, you can do that if you want. Go ahead, try it. It works. If you don't want to do it, fine, don't do it. If you're not interested, it's your right. You have your right to do what you want, and you have your right not to do what you don't want. Okay? Nobody can tell you that. But I can tell you that if you want to make a change in your life, you're going to have to get a little bit uncomfortable. All right? It's not going to be huge. Results are not going to come into the comfort zone. They're not going to come into your little box. They're not going to arrive at your house, and nobody's going to come knocking to tell you, hey, we've got this. You're probably going to have that once in a blue moon, but it's not going to happen. So, yesterday, I had a friend of mine a couple of days ago that I had posted something on social media, and I had said something like, you know what, I have an online store where I sell more than 350 products. And my friend, I was kind of laughing because my friend was like, I think you got hacked. And you know what's suspicion? People are suspicious of everything nowadays. Even when you know somebody, you see them post something like that where they're trying to sell something, make a little bit of extra, and then they say, you've been hacked. And my response was, no, I'm not hacked. I do have a store, an online store, and I do sell products. Why? Because I sell products because I work, right? And I sell products because it puts a little bit of extra money in my pocket. That's what I was telling my friend. Kind of like a side story, right? And then I started getting some messages from other friends asking, "Hey, what do you have in the store?" You know what? If you want to start your own business, you could do that. You could do that on the side of your job, because nowadays it's people are having a tough time, and they think their job is the only one that's going to be able to solve their problem, right? So sometimes you may have to get a side gig to make a little bit of extra, just to have that little comfort zone of a little bit more, right? Stretch yourself a little bit. I talk about the spring, stretch that spring a little bit, because it always wants to come back to the comfort zone, which is the place where you were yesterday, in a comfort zone. The comfort zone is not going to be the place where you're going to be having big, huge results. The comfort zone is simply your status quo, right? Everything's okay, everything's there, and you think you have it all under control, but essentially somebody else has control when you're in the comfort zone. Who has control when you're outside of that? Remember, it's lonely in the extra mile, right? What do I mean by that? And I'm going to finish with this. In a race, there's a bunch of people behind, and there's a small group in the front, way in the front. That's the extra mile. Those are the ones that are running the most. Those are the ones that are working the hardest. The rest are behind in that crowd, and they're sticking with each other because it's the crowd thing, right? But some people stick out of the crowd, and they run a little faster, and they go forward, and they go the extra mile. That's what I encourage for you today. Don't let one more minute pass. Your life is going to go quickly. Before you know it, you'll be 50, 60, 70, 80. And you'll be looking back and wondering, what happened? What did I do? Why didn't I do this? How can I do better? Guys, if you want to find out what I'm doing, all right? If you want to find out what I'm doing, I want you to message me. Message me, and I'll sit down with you and tell you exactly what I do. Some of the things that I do. And, and more than happy to discuss it with you. Control, right? Control of your life should be by you, not someone else. If you want to become independent, you're going to have to work a little bit harder, put a little bit of skin in the game, right? And pick an opportunity that's going to work for you. Maybe pick a side gig that's going to work for you, but it's not going to happen if you're waiting for your ship to arrive. Your ship is not going to arrive. You're going to have to go seek it. Look for it. Knock on doors. Talk to people. You're going to get a lot of no's. You are. People are going to say no. So my recommendation today is read the book, Go for No. Have a great day.